and we work with all of the American spaces island-wide. So Kandy, Matra, Jaffna, Colombo. We help them with the language training and testing. And we are very grateful that they've given us an opportunity to also help English language teachers. So I think it is something that is very needed, especially now as we try to, have some sort of footing in the global context. We need to be able to communicate properly, and English is the language of communication. So we are very proud to be partnering with the American Center once again to give English language teachers the skills and the exposure needed to be able to be better facilitators of the language, right? And I have with me Mr. Narendran Moharanjan, who is your facilitator for the program. Naren sir is a teacher trainer. He is an English language examiner for a very prominent English language assessing board. And also Naren sir is a English language teacher. So who better to walk us through all of this than Naren sir? Naren sir is here to give you a brief about the program, what the expectations are, and what you are going to look forward to in the program. So if there's any questions, since there are quite a few of you, unfortunately, we can't let you unmute and speak to us, but do put your questions across to us on the chat, and I'll be very happy to read them out for Naren sir. So with that, let me hand over the stage to Mr. Moharanjan. Naren sir.
Thank you very much, Susan, for that wonderful and usual introduction of the American space, as well as Headway, as well as me. So welcome to a new learning experience with the support of the American Center Colombo. So as usual, I'd like to thank the American Center, and that's what the introduction was given by Susan, but I'd like to personally thank the American Center for supporting us for the last almost more than 10 years now in delivering these programs to Sri Lankans, and as well as some Maldivians as well. All right. So what is this program? Well, as we are also partners of an important software company called DynEd International Inc., which uses a software to teach English, part of that, but HLS is our company partnering with DynEd. And we are, at the moment, we are one of the prominent English language training providers of the American Center, American space all around Sri Lanka, as Susan explained. So let's start with an introduction to the course. A brief introduction to the course. We are going to be with you for 12 weeks for this with the selected people. But anyway, you should know why you are here. Is it suitable for you? Am I eligible for this? Is it needed? Do I need this kind of training? So this brief introduction will shed some light on that. So the duration is 2 hours, 2.5 months. So that means 12 weeks, of course. Okay. Every Friday we had to meet at the American Center in Colombo, Colpiti. At the American Center is also is housed in the American Embassy now, which is just in front of the police station, Colpiti Police Station, in between Golface and Colpiti Junction. So there we have to meet for 3 hours for 12 weeks from 9:30 to 12:30, face to face. We have stopped doing online courses, but now everything is going to be face to face. I'm really excited, super excited, because I like meeting people than meeting people on the screen. And then we are commencing on the 20th of January after the selection process. Selection is going to be held today. I'll give you a brief on what you do. It's a very simple process to see your eligibility. Resource persons, it's going to be me, and Susan also will visit us, and she would take at least one component of the program, probably in March after we start. So then these are the two main people here, but you'll meet, hopefully you'll meet Susan very often for other things. But I'll be with you guys for all these 12 weeks. What do we offer you? What do we have to offer you? First of all, interesting ways to teach grammar. We have had very good candidates whose language was very good, perfect, but they learn how to teach grammar after they come to us. So this is a different ways of teaching grammar, which is one of the hardest stuff in teaching. Many people can do other things, but grammar teaching is something hard. If you don't understand that, your services are not going to be very fruitful. So we are going to look at the ways of teaching grammar, practical techniques to teach speaking. This is another thing. Many people learn grammar, but they say, we know all the grammar, but we are unable to speak. We are converse. After 11 years, or sometimes 12 years in school, from grade 1 to grade 10, 11, when they come out of school and they can't speak language, because it's not their fault, but it's our techniques. So we will teach you how to handle the speaking element, the skill, and then different approaches to handle reading. That would be another thing, how to teach reading. And then interesting writing activities. So usually what we do, we ask them to write an essay or a letter, and the teacher collects them and corrects them. But there are so many other things. There are so many other steps involved to evolve as a good teacher when it comes to writing as well. So we will be handling teaching writing activities. So we'll be creating writing activities in class. We'll be going through as students. I'll be your teacher and you'll be acting like as my students. And then we understand how the students really feel. So that is writing. We'll be also talking about independent learner independence, how to create an independent learner. Should the learner always depend on the teacher as a knowledge giver, or is it something that we need to deviate from and let them learn on their own? And that part also will be covered. Planning an individual lesson as well as a series of lessons. Lesson planning is a dreadful thing for many teachers, and we will be teaching you how to do that in an interesting way. So planning an individual lesson as well as a series of lessons. So these are some of the areas we cover, and a lot more, but these are the major areas, a lot more. How to behave as a teacher, how to even stand in front of the board, how to use equipment, and how to keep eye contact with the students, how to motivate them. And all these things will be learned in an exciting manner. And we have included another thing, an extra topic included this time is teaching and developmental psychology, or how teaching is connected to developmental psychology, or it's part of the child psychology, it's developmental psychology. This also will be handled here. To teach somebody, you need to understand them. So what kind of involvement is there would be our next step, an additional topic. And how are you selected is a big question, isn't it? We have 73 people present today, but we are going to give only 25 people a chance. So 1/3 of you will be selected here. So before I show, okay, I'll show you how you are selected. Then I'll tell you who should be selected, who should be opting for it. An online placement test right after this introduction will be held. You will be doing an online test. Don't take it very seriously. Just do it, because we are not testing you very advanced teaching methodology. Then you don't need to come if you already know that. So we are going to ask some very general questions about teaching and how you feel about teaching. And then that will be the placement test. The test will be very simple. It will take 45 minutes to 1 hour. Some of you can do it in half an hour's time. Second one, only the shortlisted candidates will be interviewed by one of the resource persons. Most probably it's Susan. She will interview you and ask you some questions to see your suitability. And your performance in both these interview as well as the online placement test will help us to select the deserving participants. And once your selection is done, and then we'll meet on the 20th in person to start our first class. Okay. Now when you are doing the test, be careful. Some people do these things, so this is not going to be very useful for you. I just want to show you that we know this by experience. This is the 9th batch. You are the 9th batch. So based on our 8th 8 batches of hundreds and hundreds of people. It should be thousands. These things can happen before that. Number one, only you have to have 80% attendance. If you don't show 80% attendance, you will not get a certificate from the American Center and Headway joined together. Avoid plagiarism when filling in the selection questionnaire. The questionnaire will be there. Do not go to the website, cut and paste ideas. For example, I'll tell you what this is not a question. I'm just putting you what is meant by warm up. So it's easy way to do is to go to the Google, write warm up meaning, and then you get loads of information, cut and paste it. Don't do that because what we do the opposite. We will cut and paste your answer on the machine, and then we will know where it come from. And we also have special software. There is a special software which we use to find out whether your answer is plagiarized or not. If those who don't know what is plagiarism, that means copying other people's work, copying from the internet. Okay, copying from each other, not each other is not possible here. Copying from other people, copying from mainly from the internet or from books. So please don't do that. You are going to lose a chance. As look, the moment we look at that you are plagiarized, that's the end of the story. You will lose a chance. Be careful. I'm talking a lot here because we get lots of plagiarized answers. Cutting and pasting, cutting and pasting. Don't do that. Be yourself. Just answer whatever you can. If you are happy with your answers and happy with the interview, we will select you. Okay. Prepare to work hard and interact with each other during the 12 weeks of course. That is one thing. You need to work hard. Yes. Only one day you are meeting for 3 hours, but there'll be work given, assignments given. There'll be 3 assignments on which you'll be marked. At the end, also, there'll be a test. Okay, not a hard test, but if you come regularly, the course is very, very interesting. I'm telling you. So now, before going to this slide, let me stop sharing and tell you. Is there anything wrong? Can I keep on? Can I keep on talking, Susan? Hello.
Hi, Narayan sir. Sorry, Narayan sir. I had a connectivity issue, sir.
So I can.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Now, these are the categories we are looking at. If you are already a teacher, okay, if you really want to develop yourself, maybe you are a government teacher or a private teacher, or maybe you're working for a private institution, or else you're on your own, or you're working for a company, you are in the HR department handling the teaching part. These are the people we are interested in. Also, people who are interested in becoming a teacher. But ask yourself, is that my real ambition? So you should not take this as an opportunity just to come and have some nice time and just to know a little bit more about teaching and fill in your CV with a teaching certificate. This is not the course, right? For you. If you are somebody who wants to develop your language skills, we have so many other courses. You can join them. Even yesterday, we had an orientation program. So that is to develop your language skills. This is not for that. This course is mainly to teach you how to teach other people. But having said that, if you have a strong desire to be an English language teacher in the future, we will accept you. But those who think, okay, let me give a chance, I'll go to 1 or 2 classes, and then I will think about it, whether to continue or not. Please do not apply for this. This is not for them. You have to have 12 weeks intensive focus on teaching. You want to be a teacher, already a teacher, or wish to be a teacher, you are the people we are looking for. Okay. So this is very, very important to ask yourself, do I need this course? Can I commit myself for 12 weeks? So do I have any other things? If you're already following another degree course, which requires you a lot of focus, please, you can do it next week. Sorry, the next batch, which will start in another 4 months' time. This is a regular thing. So if you are already following another important course where you need to focus a lot, please do not join. But those who really have this, yes, if you are a university student, of course, and you want to be an English language teacher, yes. if you're already in that course. So if you are doing physics or chemistry and you don't no idea of being a teacher, please don't do that. Please don't join. Okay. So I'm going back to the slide. These are some of our lovely participants. This is our second batch, in fact. First batch was online. Unfortunately, the first batch was online. When we started the second batch, COVID hit us in 1919 to 2019, and then we had to switch back to. Actually, in fact, these people came in person, and then suddenly COVID hit, and we had to stop it, and started with continued with the and continued with online. Okay, second batch also was online. Sorry, this is the first batch with the certificates in their hands. When they came for the certificate ceremony was also held online. We sent them the certificates, and then they got the certificates and they posed for this picture. And then batch 3 was completely online, and this was completely online. I have never, except for 1 or 2 people here, I have never met anybody because we did not have a chance of meeting them. Completely online. And then came batch 4, once again online, and these people were there for 8 to 12 weeks online and continued learning a lot of things. These people are all walks of life. Some are good already teachers, others are students, and so many different types of people, and students to become English teachers, right? And then came batch 5, once again completely online, and that also for the next, for 12 years they were, sorry, 12 weeks they were there, and we had produced some good teachers here. And then came batch 6, once again online, excellent batch, very enthusiastic people, did a good job, and then came batch 7. Batch 7 was also a wonderful group of people. Some of them in another program I'll show you now. These are also wonderful people from all around Sri Lanka. And batch 8 is once again online. Still, for 8 batches, Corona was following us, and then we couldn't do anything online. These people were promised, okay, we will have a course on in person, but for the first few weeks we will join online. But they joined, but we couldn't do anything. We met them. Thank God, we met them at the prize giving. All these people. So prize giving was held in person. The rest was held online. And then we also had another batch. This is a phase 2. Phase 2, you will have, if you can look at these phases, all these people had already done phase 1. So selected from, if you look from the man with the red t-shirt there on my right, and there is from the second batch. So likewise, these are all from different batches of all the 8 batches. And they all got together, and we had the phase 2. So the phase 2 will be held only in September. Those who selected for the phase 1 will be also given a phase 2 where we have more advanced teaching techniques. There are these teachers. The difference between phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 will focus on certain elements of teaching. Okay, basics plus some advanced, but that is how to teach language, and we'll be looking at theories and we'll be practicing theories, posing as students. But phase 2 is completely different, where these teachers will be assessed on their teaching skills. In your case, it will not happen. Second batch, each one will teach and will be assessed on by me, giving them marks, how you do this, how you do handle this, handle that, and then an overall certificate is given as phase 2. These people will be, we expect them to be perfect teachers when they go to the field. So this is what the second phase, but at the moment, we will be focusing on phase 1. All right, and then finally, question time. Susan, are there any questions?
Narayan sir, looks like we have covered everything. Duty leaves, sir. So I think we spoke about attendance as well, Narayan sir.
that is what attendance is 80%. Duty leave, we will give you a letter endorsed by the American Center will give you a letter saying that you are involved in a very important program, and that much we can do. So you need to take care of, you have to talk to your principal or whoever. If you're a private organization, explain to them this is going to be a good thing for the organization because they are going to benefit from this. So you learn good methods of language teaching. That's going to enhance your skills at your center, which will be very, very helpful to make your center where you teach a better place to learn. And university teachers, you have to explain to your bosses. Okay. Unfortunately, and the American Center does not want to do this online anymore. Their agenda is to bring as many people as possible to the center. That is their protocol. So we also were interested in doing this on Saturdays. Unfortunately, the American space is not opened on Saturday. That involves very, very big decision making, which includes even the White House. So at the moment, we cannot convince them. We also want to we actually, personally, I'd like to do this on a Saturday, but unfortunately, the American space is closed. So the least that we can do is make it Friday, so that end of the week for 12 weeks, you have to convince your bosses. And that's the only hard part. But if you're traveling from Jaffna, Trincomalee, Batticaloa, we have a person who is coming from Pottuville for all 12 weeks. He was one of the most regular people from there. That needs a commitment. That's for the second part. Phase 2 is a language teacher. He got his permission from the director of education and all that. He could do that. But I don't know whether everybody could do that. But that is the only problem we have. We don't want to do this online as well, unfortunately. Okay, Susan, sorry.
Yes, Nayant. So no questions. I would like to encourage the participants, if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat. Nayant, so there is an interesting comment. This is a student from the university, and he is following a translation studies degree.
A degree in translation.
So he feels that the program is useful.
Yeah, that's from Southeastern University. Oh, far away. Two things you need to ask. Who is this? I don't know your name, but it's okay.
Musaf, I believe.
Musaf. Okay. So all two questions you need to ask. Can you come for, yes, Mustaf, can you come for 12 weeks continuously from Southeastern University? And whether your intention is to become a language teacher in the future. These two questions, if you say yes, you're welcome. There are so many people who have traveled 12 weeks. Okay, they're up to you, and also you need to be selected in the course. So that is one thing. Okay, if there are no questions, Susan, maybe you can tell them about how to do this exam, the selection test questionnaire. It's not a test, it's rather a questionnaire, isn't it?
Yes. So I would
say test. Yeah. Shakuni is asking a question, Tarika.
To fill in the answers, it's a Google form, so it's very easy. Click on the form, it will take you to the question, your contact number, your NIC, email address. Make sure that you put these details in correctly. Give your answers and give us just one. Please make sure that you don't do that. Send us one answer. And the test will be available for an hour, after which now it's 10:30. So at 11:30, the text will be made inactive and you won't be able to access it. Sorry. So please, I'll put the link again. You can use the same link. Click on the link. It will take you to the placement test. Make sure that you read the answers Read the questions, give in your answers, and once you have, give us one submission. A few questions, Naren sir.
Yeah, somebody's asking, I am from Samanturai. Should I attend all classes? Yes, absolutely important. You need to be in all classes. So you
Yes.
can't say, okay, I'll come 50%, 50% I'll stay at home. No, we won't accommodate that. Attendance, and
Yeah.
especially
In fact, Naren sir, what we have been asked to do is if they don't come in for 2 classes, we've been asked to replace them with 3 here.
yeah, you're breaking
So
up.
we
Anyway, it's
will
okay.
give the opportunity to else if they're not in.
All right, I'm excited to see some of you, at least 25 of you in class. So with that, I'll hand over to Susan. Susan, you're going to
Yes,
be here,
Naren
right? You're
sir.
going to be online.
I'll be here, Naren sir. Yes, I'll be here, Naren sir.
I'll be in for some
Thank you
time.
so much, Naren sir.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Goodbye. But I'll be there
Goodbye.
online. I'll be online for some time.
So participants, the link has been added to the chat box. Please make sure that you click on the link. It will take you to a Google form. Once you have given in your submission, you are free to leave the meeting. But do remember that the link will be active for only an hour. So make sure that you complete it at 11:30. The Google form will be made inactive. All right. All the very best. And thank you very much. Wishing everyone a very good and a happy new year. For those who might have missed the link, I have added it onto the chat box again. Kindly click on the link, make sure that it takes you to the Google form, and once you've given in your submission, you are free to leave the meeting.